Hello and welcome to another episode of the CamerataCast. This is Andres Marquez, your host as always. I don't even know what episode number we're recording anymore. I'm just going to say this is episode 2 of season 2. That's how I'm going to get away with just completely losing track. Yeah, we were on a short hiatus for a bit in terms of our podcast, but now we are back up and running. And today, on this cast, I have very special guests with me. The amazing post-punk slash grunge slash screamy bass and drums duo, Hard Habit. Take it away.
Hey guys, we're Hard Habit. I'm Benny, and to my right is
Jade.
Jade. Like you told you guys, we do post-grunge, punk, bunch of other stuff. We have a few singles out on our Instagram, so be sure to check those out. And we got more in store. And I got a lot coming. And we've been workhorses throughout this quarantine, just churning, working, writing music as much as we can. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So y'all have been releasing singles up the wazoo as of late. 3 new singles out on all the streaming platforms. Lazarus was the latest one.
Lazarus, you're alive. Young lady with 9 lives. Your vein melted fire. Crowds stir your pride.
That one has you singing.
Yeah,
Benny.
that's my personal favorite for reasons.
It is a jam. Then you had, speaking of jams, Sanity Jam came out before that. That was a groovy one. And then
that's
oh, my bad.
Sanity Jam is actually the very first song we ever wrote as a band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we hadn't done anything with it because the original musicians that were in that song, like, they weren't in the band. So we were like, we feel kind of weird releasing it without them. And then they were like, no, go ahead. We sort of got their blessings to release it as if we needed it, but we got their blessings. They were like, yeah, you guys can release it. So we did. We were like, cool.
Sick. And then Pansies was the first of the 5 singles y'all are releasing.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful song about flowers.
It's a very visceral form of beauty.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Jade sings on that one. Jade, you would say you're like the front woman of the band, as it were.
I would like to say so.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, like, I kind of see our band as a duo where I feel like each of us it's more of like we are very vital to the band as a whole. It's not just me; it's also Benny too, because like we both represent ourselves equally and express ourselves freely in the band to the point where, like, when people think Hard Habit, they think 2 people,
Awesome. I dig that. There is a unity there. There's nobody stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, like 3 singles, 2 more on the way. It's awesome to see that y'all are releasing new music at the hopefully the end of this pandemic.
Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping. I think it's gone long enough.
Oh yeah, I think that people have allowed it to go on for long enough. Thankfully, with that vaccine out there, people getting their vaxes.
I got mine.
Yeah, same here.
Got my vax.
Awesome. The Vax trio. But yeah, like, I'm really excited for what the future holds in the local scenes at this moment. So I guess in opposite of the future, can I hear a bit of the history of Hard Habit? There is like a big kind of tumultuous sort of path that y'all took from a larger band to the duo that y'all are now. So
Man.
How far do you?
Yeah, how far back do you want us to go?
Like to the very beginning of.
When were y'all born?
So we were born. I don't remember the exact date, but it was a couple days before New Year's of January in 2015. A couple buddies of mine went up to me, and they knew that I was already in a band, and they're like, "Hey, we need a drummer."
Oh, I
Like,
thought we were still on. I thought you were talking about your birth for a second. It's like, oh,
oh, that's what you meant?
the topic switch. No, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a couple of buddies of mine. I was in college at the time. And a couple of buddies of mine were like, "Hey, we're forming this band." Well, they're like, "We're not forming this band. There's this bassist who's forming a band, and she's looking for a drummer. Would you want to go audition?" And I'd never really been in a formal audition before, so I was kind of nervous. But I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And they're like, "Cool." So day of this
Didn't you get like warnings about me? Because
Yeah.
I was gonna audition you. Yeah, because like apparently at that time when I was auditioning people, I was also in college, but I was in a very strict orchestra atmosphere, like classical music. So I
Yeah,
was
she
like,
kinda-
no
she kinda-
joke.
Yeah, she kind of brought that same sort of discipline to the rock setting, and they were warning me. They're like, "Hey, just to let you know, like you gotta learn, you gotta have your shit down for this audition. Like you can't just go into this all willy nilly and think you're just gonna wing it. Like no, like you gotta be prepared." And I was like, "What do you mean? Is this like some like record executive or something we're playing for? Like who is this?" And they're like, "No, it's this girl named Jade." I'm like, "Who's that?" And they're like, no, you don't understand, man. Like, she went to UCI. Like, she's the real deal. I was like, so she's in college? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I'm in college. They're like, but you're in community college. I'm like, still college. They're like, but still, like, don't fuck with her. She'll, like, chop your dick off. I was like, what if I'm into that? And they're like, whatever, just show up. I'm like, all right. So the day of the rehearsal, I show up, and she was super cool. Like, she was super quiet, very, like, stoic. Like, not the Jade you see before you today. Like, definitely a lot stiffer, more stoic, kind of business, let's get this done. So, like, I remember I got there, and the second my ass cheeks hit the drum throne, she's like, all right, let's start. And I was like, okay, here we go. And we started rehearsing. And the first song we worked on, it was called Buzzkill, which we should record at some point. I think that would be
Yeah.
a fun song to release.
Yeah.
But we worked on a song called Buzzkill. I went against my friend's warnings. I did not prepare at all for this audition. I was like, you know what? I'm going to wing it. I think I can do it. So I started playing it, and immediately, they weren't joking when they told me that Jade knew her craft and would like point me out. Because the second I started playing and she realized I wasn't playing exactly to the recording, she stops everything, and she turns to me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like,
If you've seen the movie
I'm-
Whiplash, I'm just basically the guy.
Oh my god.
"Not my demo." Anyway, but yeah, she looking at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Playing the song." She's like, "No, you're not. That's not the recordings I told them to have you listen to." I was like, "There was recordings I had to listen to?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I didn't get them." She's like, "All right, let's just start again." So we did the song again, and I just winged the entire thing. And something really strange happened. She started playing, and I was just winging it, and I was looking at her, and she was just like, ugh. I could tell from the look on her face. She was like, "Oh my God, this kid. Like, what is he doing? I'm going to kill this kid." And all of a sudden, it went from that to, wait, this sounds kind of cool. And then she kind of turns to look at me, and I'm like bobbing my head, and she starts bobbing her head. She's like, "This sounds kind of cool." And then we just kept playing and then we stopped. She was like, "What was that?" And I was like, she was like, "Did you work on that?" And I was like, "No, I just winged it." She's like, "That
we
sounded..."
would call that like a musical click, where it's like when the pieces fit perfectly and it just works harmoniously. It just makes like a wow like
Yeah,
reaction.
like definitely
for
in that
us.
moment we clicked, and that's when we were like, "All right, we gotta do something," you know. So we kept. I would rehearse with that integration of Hard Habit for a good month, and then with my other band, like things were going to absolute hell. Like no one was doing anything. Like there wasn't like the motivation was gone. So what I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the two best musicians from my first group, and I'm going to pull the two best musicians from this one, and I'm going to combine them into a sort of pseudo super group, if you will. So I did that. I talked to Jade about the idea because, it was her band, and it wasn't my call. So I
Yeah.
asked her, I'm like, "Hey, I have this idea. I want to pull the two best musicians from here and the two best musicians from here, and I want to combine them, and I don't want to step on your feet. Like, I know it's your group, and I don't want to, like, steal people from you, you know what I'm saying?" And she was like, "Oh, no, it's cool. Like, I think that'd be a cool idea." So I pulled her and another buddy of ours to our rehearsal area in Garden Grove with my other band. and we started rehearsing together. And then that's where Hard Habit formed, was in a music den in Garden Grove. Shout out to Corey, because he's the guy whose house we rehearsed in. He was the bassist at the time, and I always like laugh when I tell that part of the story, because when we were rehearsing in his den, Jade was playing bass, and he was kind of also playing bass, kind of behind her. He was like, and we kept rehearsing, we kept playing, and we started writing Sanity Jam in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Corey kind of just backed off the bass and just kind of sat down behind a keyboard, and he just kind of like sitting there, just kind of like b-boy stance with his arm across, not really doing anything. And we stopped playing, and we were like, "What are you doing, man?" And he was like, "No, you guys are chilling. I'm good." I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh, man." And then from there, we kept rehearsing
As a four.
as a 4-piece,
Mm-hmm.
which was the very first integration of Hard Hat, was a 4-piece, and then we gained another guitarist, became a 5-piece, and then we got our first singer after losing a guitarist, and we were a 5-piece.
It was a lot of changes.
It was a lot of changes. We lost maybe 2 or 3 singers,
Well,
and it was all like because like they didn't know what they wanted, we didn't know what we wanted. Like we were still trying to figure out like what's our sound, what's our genre, what music do we play, what do we want to do, and like that alone caused a lot of friction in the beginning. Like our guitarists wanted to do like more alternative kind of Muse-esque types of stuff, and then our other guitarist wanted to do like stoner rock and doom, which I'm down for. I love that stuff. But the blend just wasn't there. Like we sat down and we talked about this, and we're like, we'll take a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Let's mix that together, make something different.
It's almost like instead of like a melting pot of like everyone representing themselves, it was more like a hodgepodge of things that just did not mix. So
Yeah, but like let's mix it all together. And we gave it a good effort. We tried for a while, but it just didn't work out. Like the sound just wasn't there for us. We're just like, okay, it's not really gonna work. So we parted ways with those guitarists, and then it became just me and Jade, and then we picked up a guitarist. He was cool, he was kind of closer to our sound, like what we wanted to do, because we felt when we had our old guitarists, like they were sort of in a way holding us back. Because me and Jay, like we wanted to go crazy, we wanted to get that super loud, aggressive sound like what we have now, but we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got our new guitarist, he was a little bit closer to that. Like he loved grunge. He was into Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Mudhoney, like all that stuff. So it blended really well with us. But he didn't have that aggression that we wanted. So after a while playing with him, he was just kind of like, "All right, guys, I'm not feeling it." And we were like, "Yeah, we're not feeling it." So we parted ways with him. And then me and Jade were like, "We should try doing a 2-piece," because we had done some rehearsals just us two. And we were like, this sounds pretty cool.
I think it's not just a rehearsal. I think one time there was an audition where
Yep.
we auditioned for a guitarist, and then we were like, "Oh, we should show him how the song idea that we have." And then me and Benny just played in front of him, and he said, "Wow, I think you guys just sound good, just the two of you guys. I don't even think you need a guitarist." And then I think at that day, it kind of clicked to me. It's like, why do we need to grab a third member out of necessity when we could just work with what we have?
Mm-hmm.
And it just, at that point, me and Benny kind of like sat down and we're like, okay, if we're going to be a 2-piece, we can't make it sound like a 2-piece. We wanted to make it sound like an illusion of a full band.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'd say you succeed at that pretty much on point. Like every show I've been to of y'all's, you sound huge.
Thank you.
Like Jade's big honking bass amp.
Yeah, the fridge.
Oh man, that thing is a pain in the ass.
Your powerful, very powerful drumming. It's like, it reminds me of a lot of like the 80s new wave kind of stuff with some of your beats.
Yeah.
Like I think of some Joy Division stuff. When I hear especially like the 16th note hi-hat stuff that you do. But yeah, like y'all have such a gigantic sound for being 2 people. It's incredible. And I think that comes out as well, really well on the singles that y'all have put out recently. The drums sound like very full and the bass is so like crisp and nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome hearing y'all's music.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, those songs were really fun to record because we hadn't before going into the studio for those, we hadn't been in the studio for God, a little over a year. We hadn't gone in the studio because we had intended on recording these last year in March, but then that fell through, and then we didn't get any studio time until we were in the studio
Like just recently,
May.
like May, yeah.
like May. Yeah, we went back in the studio in May, and it felt really good to be back. We hadn't been in there for so long. But yeah, recording those songs was a lot of fun. It was really easy. Like usually, the last couple of times we had been in the studio, we were very nervous. And we were very unsure of ourselves. But this time, there was this comfort in playing in the studio again. It just made everything really easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just like riding a bike. It's like just jumping back into it. It was really cool.
Awesome.
I think personally for me, going into studio, it was very relieving because I don't know if people notice, but when I sing on stage or wherever, I sing with a lot of emotion. And part of it is that like most of the emotion I try to express is pent up. And so being in studio for the first time after like even we haven't even played enough live shows before that.
Oh, I agree.
So I felt like I dropped everything I felt into the songs we were recording, and the product came out amazing. Like just to express everything, all my emotions into the tracks. It was great.
Yeah, I can hear it in everything y'all put out. It's so raw and so just like visceral.
Oh yeah.
Everybody listening, please check out Hard Habit on your Spotify's and your Bandcamps and all the streaming / buying platforms. You will love it. Quality assurance stamp from Andres Marquez.
Yes.
So there is, a great wide future ahead of us all right now. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen, but at this moment, there are people who are throwing bigger shows again. There are
Yep.
bookings for large festivals and stuff. It feels like a return to the arts scenes and the creative scenes that we had before the pandemic, and it's a relief. It is
Oh, absolutely.
it is an absolute like cathartic feeling. I wanted to ask y'all first off, what are your plans for like the near future? Do y'all have shows coming up or anything along those lines?
Yes, we actually have a show coming up this Saturday.
Oh, that's right in Vegas.
Yep, in Vegas on July 3rd. We play in Las Vegas. I am blanking out on the name of the venue.
Double Down Saloon.
Double Down Saloon in Las Vegas. Yeah, we're playing on July 3rd. I'm super excited for that. That one's a long time coming. We were supposed to play in Las Vegas back in January, but it kind of fell through. Guess some kind of organizational issues or something. I don't really remember, but it ended up falling through, and then I ended up getting COVID, so I was out of it for a couple of months. Just recently recovered, so. Thank God for that one. that was a rough one.
We're super stoked. We're gonna like party super hard, and
Oh, yeah.
this is gonna be our first show since like I think we haven't played for like a year and a half or something. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we haven't played a show since.
What was it? Holloway? I saw y'all perform at Holloway. You had the pickle costume.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
since
That's
October.
right. Yeah, that was October.
We haven't played
my
since
gosh.
October. Wow.
Yeah.
That's been a minute. Yeah, we have that show coming up.
I think we have a tentative show that's gonna come up in August 29.
Yes. Yeah, we have another tentative show on August 29th with Avery Indigo. Shout out to Avery Indigo. Check them out as well. They're awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you guys like alternative and Linkin Park vibes, Avery Indigo, definitely
Sick.
them, man. But yeah, we have a show with them on August 29th. Anything else is to be announced. We're trying to get shows because yes, like you said, like more people are starting to make shows again and festivals and stuff. So we're just waiting on that inviter. We've been reaching out as well, trying to get shows again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it does feel good to be back. It feels good to be
Yeah.
able to do those things again.
It's also a weird feeling because you forget, like, being in the pandemic, you've been in this stuck feeling, and then when you're revisiting the old feelings of like energy and like just in craziness, it's like it's almost unfamiliar, but then you want to grab it again. So
Yeah, like I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see that y'all are, getting back out in the world, as it were. I do want to ask as well, more of a like a existential question. But like, what do you feel is the future of like Hard Habit? Where do you want to take your band? Like, what is the goal?
Man, that is a yeah. That
That's
is
a good question.
That's a good question, man.
What is the meaning of Hard Habits?
For us, hard habits always been kind of a emotional release. If we're angry, if we're sad, that is, hard habit is what we would turn to. It's like our therapy. That's what we've always used it for, and that's what we kind of always hope people would use our music for at some point. Would to be just use it as a way to cope, as a way to to release that energy you have inside you. And in terms of our future, that's
I think in terms
That's
of
a
our
tough
future,
one.
is more of like we hope that our music reaches out to people and that people relate to it better,
I
and that
agree.
and that like we don't strive for like fame or trying to make money or anything, because we just really want to be listened to. And I guess we hope that in the future that we would have more listeners and like more fans and then more people to watch us play, so we could go crazier. And like we just want to like and also have enjoyable moments with everybody, even other bands, because we very much support the local community with local bands, because we've been through a lot, we know they've been through a lot, but all that matters is that whenever it's a show or a gig, we all have a great time. So
Yeah, I think for us, like Jade said, like the fame and the money, it's never really been an object for us. For us, it's the music. For me and for Jade, it's always been the music. That's what we do it for. It's that feeling of being able to be behind the drums, be behind the bass, and be able to perform for people, being able to be on the stage and feel the energy of the crowd. Like that's what we do it for, you know. And like the future for us, it's hard, because it's
we try to live in what is the now. We
Yeah.
don't really think about the future.
yeah. You don't really think about the future. We probably should. That would probably be a very good idea. But
Yeah.
we don't do that very often. We just kind of live in the moment and enjoy the now as much as we can. But I mean, if I had to say, the future of Hard Habit, honestly, if we were in the same place that we are now, like musically, I think I'd still be happy. As long as we're playing, as long as our music and our feelings are getting out there, and as long as we're sharing our art with people, I'm happy.
Awesome. Yeah. I feel like that is an attitude that more people kind of have to adopt, I suppose. It's very in this current day and age, it is such a striving task to be able to achieve even like the minimal amount of financial compensation for
Oh
art.
yeah.
It is nigh on impossible
Oh, yeah.
due to record executives,
Royalty.
I mean,
royalties.
even then, there's even signed musicians who are like broke.
Oh yeah, of course. It is such a weird conglomerate of different issues with music and art being commercialized, as
Oh, yeah.
it were. It is not the land of milk and honey that it was in like the late '90s and early 2000s. It's weird. It's a very weird thing to be living through, and I feel like we kind of have to. I mean, not necessarily have to, because shout outs to everybody who wants this to be their living.
Yeah.
That is an admirable goal.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's also a lot to be said for making art for the sake of making art,
Yeah.
and for the sake of having it solely as your emotional release and
Yeah.
solely as a way of communicating and connecting with people.
Yeah.
I think there's validity in both ways, and me as anti-capitalist lefty scum, I will say that the beauty in music will always be far more than what production value
Oh,
and
absolutely.
notoriety can give it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess that's my piece on it. Shout outs to both of y'all for really just sticking to it for the artistic and creative aspects of
absolutely.
it. Whatever y'all want out of your futures, I wish that you achieve it.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
I think if there is one thing that we want to do as a band, it would be probably to continue to build the music scene.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Awesome.
because we've noticed playing, you know, since we started playing shows, for example, in Alexander's in Compton, there's been a group of bands that we've always played together. It was, you know, it's Thing of Twins, Apollo 3, Total Eclipse. And now Children of Eden, because we started playing with them again. You know, we played with Ravenous Wolves, you know. And that sort of in its own way became its own scene. Because like I've noticed those bands play with each other a lot now, and it's just like I want to continue to grow that. We want to continue to grow that, you know. Like the way us and those bands met, we all met in the same place. We all met at Alexander's. That's where we all met. We just kept playing together.
I guess that one thing I could hope for with that is that we continue to grow with other bands and hopefully develop like a sort of culture when it comes to music. It's like it's not just playing for a show and then leaving. It's like everyone is a get together and communicating with people and also like sharing our values and having a togetherness.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with everybody being so isolated. We think that in the future we grow as a band and we grow with other people as well.
And not only because it's so isolated, also because, especially here in Southern California, the musical scene is very competitive. You know, so it always helps to have a friend. You know, I've like for us, like when we first started playing shows, we were playing in Santa Ana, we were playing Orange County, and yeah, very competitive, very much everyone trying to one up each other. Everyone tries to be better than the next person, which is, I mean, yeah, if you know.
It's friendly competition.
It's fair, you know, competition's fair, but here in Southern California, especially like Santa Ana, Orange County area, the competition tends to get a little toxic. A lot of drama there. And I'm trying to we've always been trying to like get ourselves away from that, which is why we started playing in LA and Riverside a lot more, is because we noticed the scenes out there are a lot more nurturing, a lot more loving, a lot more we're this big happy musical family, you know, who sticks together. And I thought, well, that was the coolest thing, you know.
Awesome. Yeah. That's kind of what the Camerata has been about for like the almost 3 years we've been around. I definitely have noticed, you know, that competitiveness in music scenes, and also not a fragmentation of music scenes. There is very little unity when it comes to like local music. Okay, Oz. The mics didn't pick that up, but she either snored or farted. I couldn't tell.
She
I think she
snored.
snored.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that sleepy little baby. Oh.
She just like let me sleep, damn it.
I'm sorry, Oz. You have like 4 other rooms in this house you can just walk into.
It's like, nah, this spot's fine.
Well, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to see as well. Like competition is another one of those things in artistic scenes that is like fostered almost as if it was a necessity. And of course, in the system we have right now, it kind of is like, oh, if I'm going to be successful in any way, shape, or form, I have to be better, which usually just means like I have to have more people buying my shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that from what I've seen, there are some really cool scenes in like Long Beach, specifically, of people who are incredibly creative and
Absolutely.
but are also like supporting each other, not just like artistically, but even like financially. There is a whole bunch of awesome, like, you know, there's a scene of people who are just doing their best to keep people afloat, and it's like it's beautiful. Honestly,
Absolutely.
that's the kind of shit that I want to see. Less competition, more community.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome to see that y'all are striving for the same thing as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely having because since we had to deal with that sort of toxic competitiveness firsthand, like we never wish that on any other band. Like that stuff sucks. Like when you go up to a band, you try to interact with them, and they completely blow you off, and try to act holier than thou. It's like, like let's not be like that, please. So like after dealing with that, we were just like, we're not going to be that. Let's strive for something better.
Yeah.
You know.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
I will say though, from what I've seen of bands that are over the top when it comes to like, stage presence, I don't feel. Sometimes that comes from a place of just needing the like attentions, like this is what we have to do to get it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it comes from just like places of let's do the most inane shit on stage. I was with the homeboy Grant. Shout out to the Big Chablonius wherever you are. We were playing a show with Ravenous Wolves, like maybe 2018, at the Epic Lounge. If y'all have ever played there.
I miss Epic Lounge.
Oh, that was a
Same.
good venue.
Oh yeah.
We met a lot of cool bands playing that venue.
I feel like I've played so many shows there with like Ravenous Wolves, Reptile Dysfunction. That was Big Hat Logan before we got our new bassist Nick. But every time it was such a trip. There are so many unique artists that Mario, shout outs to Mario, helped fucking build up in this place. But there was this one band that I specifically remember, not for their their music was pretty cool. It was like a weird mix of like kind of emo-ish. I'm not even sure if you call it emo stuff, like AFI, My Chemical Romance.
Oh yeah.
That kind of scene and
Yeah.
stuff. But like during one of the instrumental breaks of their songs, the one of the women on stage, I believe she was the guitarist or something. She fucking like turns around, pulls down her own pants, like everything, pants, pantaloons, panties, everything that was there. And another of the women on stage grabs a stapler and a flyer, staples their band name flyer to her ass. And me and Grant were just kind of like, oh, whoa, is this real?
I mean, if you think about it, it was effective because you're still talking about it now.
I don't know their names. I only know the staple in the ass incident.
Okay, maybe not that effective.
That was the
You know
best.
that's impactful.
Not necessarily for whatever gains they were trying to get through their stage presence, but it was impactful in the sense that I will always remember this and always look back on it fondly. Like, I hope she's okay. Or I hope they're okay. I hope that they don't have like some strange,
I hope the staples were clean.
I hope it was removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to talk to Mario about that. Ask him if he knows that band. I gotta see if that's something they do every show. But yeah, so this is we're gonna wind down the podcast a bit. First off, I just want to ask, is there anything else that you kind of want to put out there about Hard Habit? Anything that you just want to share before we take this thing down?
Debating whether doing it or not.
Benny, have you played?
I'm what doing what?
Never mind, Jade told me not to.
Oh, Benny, Jade, have you played the Gen 8 Pokemon games?
I have not.
Are you talking about like Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
I played Sword.
Do you know the legendary Pokemon that's like 75% brain?
Yeah.
Benny's hairdos reminded me of that.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I guess that's a new development with Hard Habit. I have hair now, so.
Yeah,
new.
your hair used to be real short. Like last time I saw you, it
You
was almost like a crew
shaved.
cut kind of thing.
Yeah. I used to have the whole like fuckboy comb over thing, and yeah. And Disney was like, "Oh, you can have long hair now." I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah,
Really?
yeah."
Oh, I thought Disney was rather strict with their.
They used to be. They used to be definitely, but then they finally realized how outdated their fucking dress code was, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna change it. So now you can have long hair, you can have piercings, you can have tattoos.
Oh, sick.
So it's pretty chill over there now."
You don't have to look like somebody who grew up in the 60s.
Right.
All right. So, yeah, if that's it for y'all, I also want to ask, y'all have been putting out a lot of names of, bands and, places you've played. But if there's anybody else that you want to shout out, give some love to from the scene, just, put their names out there. We can, spread that to them.
Oh man, there's a lot. I'd like to give a shout out to Flower Punk, Monochrome Pills, Interfusion, Sigil. These are our back home neighborhood bands, the bands that we've grown with. Jade?
Trying to think of something. Dang. There's like. There's a
Prisoners
lot.
of War.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Those guys
cool.
are awesome. Soul for Butterfly. You guys rock.
Cavalactones. We
Have a
love
lactose.
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Man, it's been a minute since we heard you
I
guys.
love you guys' love songs.
Yeah, those guys were really, really cool.
Trying to think what
Oh,
else.
there's some. Like on the tip of my tongue. The intros, you guys are great. You know, shout out to the intros. You guys are freaking awesome. We've never played with you guys, but we really, really want to. You guys are freaking cool.
Oh, my personal favorite, Drugs in the Alley.
Drugs in the
Oh,
alley.
yeah. I remember seeing
Those
them at
guys
our
were
bird dive bar.
awesome.
Yeah, those
Oh
guys
my
are
gosh,
awesome.
yeah.
Makes me want to boogie.
Yeah, they
Very,
were.
very groovy music
Yeah.
they were laying down. I hope to see them again soon.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
If you all don't mind, I'm going to shout out a couple names that I want to put some love to. Big shout outs to the folks over at DBA 256, really cool bar/art venue in Pomona. We're going to be holding our first big venue show back from COVID there, July 23rd. Oh, yeah, it's such a blast. So far, we got a few names on the board right now. We got Pork Boy going to be playing there. Shout outs to Sarai from Pork Boy. Sarai is basically Pork Boy. It's a solo act, but you know what I mean. And shout out to General Ed as well. They're going to be playing
General
so far.
Ed.
Yeah.
Woo!
The
Yeah.
Bluesy Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we can get the Extrangers on the show. I asked them. They said they still got to see if their schedule is good. Hopefully we can get Crossing I's, Dotting T's. Ask them the same thing. But yeah, we are booking shows again. Super excited for that. So thank you to all those artists and thank you to DBA for wanting to host our shit. Pomona is such a fucking awesome scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shout outs to like all the homeboys and homegirls and home peoples in Pomona. We got
Oh, yeah.
the folks over at Vital Pomona, awesome little gift shop.
Yeah.
If you're in the area and you need really nice things, buy things there. And shout out also to Artists in the Alley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Artists in the alley.
Actually,
Woo!
we would like to shout out to Artists in
Hell
the
yeah.
Alley too, because that's actually one of our favorite venues.
One of one of the best venues that we've
Exactly.
ever played in. We got the best response from the audience at that venue.
Lots of
Big,
support.
biggest mosh pit I've ever seen at a Hard Habit show. Like, that place was freaking awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much to Artists in the Alley, to Haley, and to Haley's father, who I believe runs the show there. I forgot your name. I'm sorry. But yeah, y'all are putting on amazing fucking artistic events. We held a film showing there with a
Ooh.
whole bunch of awesome local filmsters, with Vlacinda Productions. Y'all were there with Raven's View Productions. We had a few performances as well from Pork Boy and from Tommy Apollo, Raphael Serato. It was a blast, and I hope to be able to have something with y'all at Artists in the Alley someday soon again. But yeah, that's basically it. That's just us kind of giving our love out to the community. This was the second episode of the second season
Numero dos.
of the Camerata podcast. Thank you so much, Hard Habit.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us. It was a
Oh,
pleasure.
yeah, it was. This is a great convo, and I hope to get to chat with y'all. After I turn off the mics, we're going to be chatting. So, but thank you all for listening as well. Thank you for your support. We hope to see you on the flip side. Adios.